What's up, guys? We're back. It's time. We're doing a beat from scratch on the Roland TR-1000. I have no idea where we're gonna go today, but the most important thing is that we're doing from scratch using only stock sounds present on the Roland TR-1000. This time we got two cameras, this one and this one, for your viewing pleasure. Yeah, exactly. I have no idea where I'm gonna go today. We're just gonna make some music. I will explain everything I do so that you can get a feeling of how the workflow is and what you can do with it. I don't even know what genre we're gonna do, but here we are. So yeah, you know how this goes by now. I want to just explore this with you guys. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy you're here. The incense is already burning. Is that on camera? I think so, maybe. Welcome to another corner of my place, by the way. Now you see my back wall. That's cool. Okay, why don't we just dive in? I will start, going through sounds and making music how I usually do it. But now I'll explain everything I do. So I hope that, I hope it will help, That's what we're here for, to help. Okay, let's see. First of all, I'm going to a new pattern. So pattern select, number 114. Let's see, nothing should be playing. If I press play now, and indeed nothing is playing. How wonderful. Okay, it takes a bit of a switch. I've just been setting up everything. So now I need to switch to music making mode. I bet you guys know how it is. Let's go right into it. Okay, yeah, music making mode. I'm gonna put in my headphones directly into my Roland. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, all of a sudden I go from public persona into this is my private space making music. So it's a bit of a switch. Okay, yeah, clean pattern. Let's just start with maybe find a little tonal sound or something. I think maybe usually I put the samples, if I start with a chord or whatever, or some melodic stuff, I start on the low tom channel because then I have the kick and the snare free, and the low tom is a nice place to start. To preview my sounds, I always just put in like 4 triggers on the channel I want to check. Press start. Okay, we got sound. You know what? Immediately as this is playing, I'm hearing the tempo of this. That's not the speed I'm feeling. So usually if I go for a tempo, I just like feel in my body, where are we at? And I just try to tap tempo, something that feels like my groove right now. My body is already bouncing in a certain groove. We're recording, right? Yeah. So, Tap tempo is very simple. Shift and then tap the tempo button. Makes sense. We're at 101.01. I like that. Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll do several little beats. Maybe I will go through it a bit quicker or spend more time with one. I literally have no idea where we're going, but who does know where we're going, right? You know what I already have? As soon as I hear a single sound, I already feel usually inspired of like, oh, what could that become? Even hearing this tom is like, I already feel, yeah, that could go somewhere. If you add like a little closed hat, okay, closed hat. Okay, but now I feel like I have to prove it. Yeah, I just need to get a little groove going. Let's see what happens if I change the instrument on this low tom channel. Maybe I want to go for a sample. Maybe I want to go for a drum thing. I think maybe let's go for a sample. And if you're new here, sorry if I'm all over the place. I tend not to prepare these things too much because I really just want to go through the whole process with you guys so that you get a really fair view of how everything works. Okay, and I need to remember to explain everything that I do. Start over. Low tom. I put in a few triggers just to preview the sound. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do 2 less triggers so it's not annoying. To change the sound, you can do 2 things. You can press instrument or generator. If you change it to an instrument, it will come with all these knobs mapped to something, to some parameter. I usually don't want that. I want to map those things myself, so I just go straight into generator, and then it keeps the default knob assignments, and that keeps things more organized for me. Then later on, I will do my own knob assignments. So, generator. To select a different generator, you can do 2 things. Just press Gen, and then you see that there. Just press Enter, and you go into the different generators. Or you just do Shift Gen, and you're right there. Okay, let's see. I usually scroll through the categories, because then you get a bit of a clearer view. If you then go here, okay, here you see all the different kinds of categories. And why don't we start like with a little synthesizer thingy, and then we have a few options. There's like synth or chord or scaled. It's different sounds, different kinds of categories, but that's all cool. Loop drum. Yeah, maybe I will start with a chord. You guys have already heard me do stuff with the chord stuff, so maybe let's find out. Okay, I've selected that chord for category. I like that one a lot. If you've seen my other videos, you know that this one I've already used many times. So let's not go for that one now. Love that atmosphere thing as well. Cool, sounds a bit bland to me. Nah, that's not it for today. Let's see what happens if I take that one. Okay, E piano hit, enter. First thing I often do when I select a sample, I turn the rate or the pitch all the way down just to see what kind of textures are there if I slow it down a lot. So the rate, oh. If you do the rate in minus, you go reverse it. A little spread. A little bit reduction. Maybe change the envelope a bit of this sound. So how to change the envelope? I go into amp. Then you turn on SW. I don't know what SW means. Then let's add some attack, or like slow down the attack. If you ask me, that's a vibe already. I like soft stuff. I like gentle things. Now that already sounds like a vibe to me, that little melody I created just by changing the chorus tuning. I want to work a little bit on the sound, and then I will program a little melody with it. I want to filter it a bit, so we go to filter, SW on. I hear a little pop, so maybe I want to change the hold mode into time and then add a little decay. Comes a little wave. You know, who cares about the pop? It's there. Let's add some. Let's do the little melody I had. So one pattern can only be 16 steps long. So if you want to do variations on that and make a longer thing, you can chain the things. But let's go one at a time. I will first show you how to record the melody of the chord. So I will go to turn motion on, I need to assign this knob to be the coarse tuning. So I go knob assignment, this one, okay, coarse, exit, perfect. I want this to be here. That's a vibe. Now I will copy this pattern into pattern B by copy A to B, and also to C, copy A to C. Now I have different variations, or like different patterns for it, and I will now do these different melodies. Because motion is turned on, I can do this. I saw that this was at 8 semitones. Vibe. And now at variation C, I want it back at 4. Okay, cool. And back to A. That one needs to be put back at 0. Okay, cool. You know what? I feel maybe we add a little delay. First of all, I'm going to change the delay type. Shift Kit, go to the right, delay, enter, pan. Enter, pan. Sync mode on, sync time, whatever. You can also do that here. And now that is set up. I go to the FX send of this one, Shift FX to the delay. Okay, cool. And bring it back down a bit again. I feel like this is gonna get groovy as shit. All right, maybe I wanna add a little drum loop to that. Usually I put that here. Let's go, let's see what we have. Trigger on the first, so I can, now there's a cowbell, friggin' vibe, but let's change that to a little drum loop. Category. Loop percussion. Let's see what we got. Okay, that's bubbly. That's not the vibe for today. Not bad. Number 4 was not bad. Okay. It's weird, but I'm quite attracted to that. Okay, volume is way off from that little boy. Let me just, for reference, put in a little kick. Oh, we're grooving, all right. Turning up the gain of that one. This one is super loud. You need to chill the frig out. I'm turning down the gain in the M section so I can have the fader up full. We're grooving. Okay, this is now an 808 type bass drum, but it's a digital one. Let's see how it sounds with one of the analog ones. Okay, BD. I like that these kicks are shorter and this one is long. So let's record some motion for that. Let's have this to be the default for these. So, okay, I hold this one, I put it about there, and this one I need to figure out a bit. That works for me. Okay. You know, only problem is if I now want to copy this whole beat to B and C, then I lose, for the drum loops, then I lose the motion variations I did there. That's life. We'll work with that. Let me turn off the motion for this one real quick so I can just play around with it, you know, and get a feeling, and then later I will lay it all out in this nice melody. That's pretty damn groovy. Okay. You know, I never get enough of 808 snare drums, so let's put a little 808 snare drum under that. Snare, instrument, 808 snare drum. Okay. You know, today, I'm not sure if this is the way. How about that hi-hat? Maybe the accent should be... Snare drum is not doing it for me. Let's try some clap sample there on the second. Generators, shift gen. Okay. We could do that quicker, I think. Oh, whatever. Maybe something like that. Too dead. Maybe it's the one we had. Quite a vibe. Let's go. This one is mapped to the decay already, so I can play with the decay a bit. That's the default setting. Okay, enter. Let's see. Good. I want a little something that adds a little bit extra groove. So maybe, maybe the snare drum comes in well there. Just right before that. We need shuffle for that. If you go to tempo, then you can do the shuffle setting. No, that's not it for me. Is this one grooving weird? Maybe, who knows. Sounds cool to my ears. Okay, let's move on from there. Maybe something, we already have the low end quite filled up because of the bass drum, but let's see if we can add some element. Maybe it will be a bass, maybe it will be something else. Okay, I put it on the high tone channel. Let's just keep the chord playing. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Excuse me. And my addictions. I'm gonna take a little sneeze. Don't mind if I do. Okay, let's see. Generator. Maybe if I add a little oscillator, or we do even something more atmospheric, who knows, but we can try out first maybe with a little oscillator. If I do, for example, a little saw. Yeah, okay, why not? Turn down the generator decay. Something. Let's shuffle. Is that clap super late or something? Is that what's happening here? Because maybe I can nudge this. Yeah, if I put a snare on it, that's it. Okay, let's change that sound of that little generator we had there. Turn a filter on. Maybe turn down where it is in the... Ooh, Oh, that wasn't bad in the bass area. Okay, filter, go to the amount, then you have a little envelope. Boom, boom. Change the mapping of that one again, so I can do the coarse tuning with that knob. Let's see what happens if I put this one here. And this one. There's a maximum range to these things, and that's a bit annoying. Some of them only have like 1 octave that they can go up or down, but I can probably get around that by using the tuning as well, but I don't want to do that. Let's do that. Oh no, that was too low. Okay. Add a little softer one, shift. Dun, dun, dun. I have an idea. Thank you. Now, you know, let's keep it like this. And yeah, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna change the virtual analog sounds. They have this model low, mid, or high. If I do now the mid, it's an octave up. But I can just turn this one here an octave down again. That should be lower, right? It doesn't get as low then. This is the problem. Whatever. Super low bit. Now we have this, let's add a little variation, copy A to B. Now that you remember the melody I did at the beginning is gone. So I gotta go back to this one. That was at the 8th semitone. That doesn't gel with the bass, so let's keep that away for a bit. And then at C, copy B to C and do that one back at 4. Yeah. Oh, it's still at the non-analog open hat. Let's do the analog open hat. You can do the mute decay, how much it gets choked by the little hi-hat, and I don't want it to be choked. This one really needs some more gain. Let's see if we add some effects to that little top loop. Ooh, how about a ring mod? What happens? You know, it's quite a vibe, but I feel like I want something else now. This was a fun little warm-up, but I think we can do something more. So, I'm not even gonna save this. It's fine, let things go, you know. Maybe I will save it. I will save it, okay. Copy, but I won't give it a name. I will just quickly copy, overwrite, shift copy. Then you do write, overwrite, it's overwritten there now. And let's go to a new pattern, number 15. Let's try something a bit quicker, a little bit housey, techno-y. Okay, tempo and well, there we go. Let's put it at 128. Here we go. I don't know how much I should talk. You can also see what I'm doing. I'm just trying out some things, you know. We're here for the ride together. Also, I slept like shit tonight, but I did end up making some ambient music for myself to fall asleep to using the Octatrack. That was a lot of fun. Maybe I will upload it. Anyway, I feel like now maybe let's start with a 909 kick drum, shall we? Instruments, TR-909. There we're getting a little groove. Okay, what I like to do is also use FM sounds as bass or as melodic sounds. So let's show that. Turn off the bass again, but I will put a little triggers on the ones and go to Shift Gen, and then I go to category all, but I go to folder FM, and then we have kick models. Perk model. That one is very flexible. You can do a lot with it. And very importantly, you can change the note that is playing with it. Are you still recording? You are. Nice. Okay. You already hear there's a nice cool sound to it, and yeah, I can play with that, of course. Easy there, cowboy. Okay, let's see. Now you see I can mix that in. Let's add some motion to that. If I now knob assign this one to the note, generator A, FM. Generator A. Where's my note? FM. Note. There we go. What if I do the whole? And then, exit the knob assign. Add a little filter. Add some sidechain, Shift FX. a little delay maybe. I need to change the delay to the pan again, so Shift Kit, Enter, pan, okay, sync on. Ooh, I like where that's going. Let's put this one at this note where it is now. Oh, that's not it. And straight back, because it's an automation, you need to put it right back to where it was. Less amount on the filter. I like that. What if we added a little filter to the kick? I really like smooth and soft things, so I like it when it's dark like that. Let's add a little like pad to it, and I want to show a little trick how to make your own more complicated pad shots. Okay, turn these off. Ooh, I'm grooving. All right, I go to high tom. I go add a little trigger. I go to generator, Shift Gen, category. Then I go to synth. And then I go to PCM, that's just PCM samples. Yeah, let's just take the soft pad. Okay, that doesn't do much on its own, but now let's copy this one to a few of these other layers, and then I can build a little chord, resample that, and voila, then you start having sorry, I'm always nervous about my camera overheating. Then you can have a little chord that you can play with. So, first I set the root note where I want to start with on this one. Not sure yet, but let's copy it. Copy this one to that one, and to that one. Copy this one to that one. And now you hear it as well. And should be here. No, not yet. Didn't do it right. Voila. Now it's there as well. So, no. That's cheesy. Okay, that sounds pretty cheesy, but we can work with that. Now I have, maybe I can make it even more complex. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Okay, then what I do is I go to sample, input, mix out. That's what we want. Make sure to turn out the other things, otherwise they're getting sampled with it. These four. Ooh, you know what? Before I do that, exit. I pan these out a bit so we get a bit of a wider stereo spread. Shift FX. This one to the left, this one to the right, this one to the left, and this one to the right. Let's do the higher ones a bit further out. This one a bit closer in. Nice and wide. Okay. Can we do it wider? How does it sound if I do it all the way? I like that. Okay, now go back to sample, mix out, length, manual. I want that. Wait, press enter to record. Recording. Okay, that's cool. Now edit, normalize, because I want everything to be normal. Okay, edit the start point. Oh, sorry. Zoom, enhance, zoom, enhance. This is gonna be loud as shit. Wait, I can turn down this volume. Shift copy previews it. Holy shit, that was loud. Not for you guys, I think, but for me it was. Zoom it back out again. Endpoint. Yeah, whatever, man. Edit, truncate, then you save the cut points that you set. And now write and assign. I'm not going to give it a name right now, but I will assign it to the high tom thing. So, okay, HTA. Okay, that's right. Oh. Okay, execute. And now it's assigned to this. So if I press play now, oh, it's panned to the left because it still kept this panning thing. And it's loud. Now I can do stuff with this. So I can change, for example, the attack. Or I can slow it down. Rate. For some reason, I think this is a vibe. Let's sidechain it, shift effects. If you have seen my drum and bass, or the 90s atmospheric drum and bass video I did with the CRT gaming and stuff, then if you wonder how I made the pads, this is how I made the pads. I just layered a bunch of sounds, sampled it, and voila. How does it sound if I pitch this one up a bit? First, the knob assignment for this one, offset course, okay, enter, exit, voila. This is cool. Now I did a bandpass filter with a lot of resonance, and I want to move this one around with a little LFO. Shift filter opens the LFO, turn the time down a lot, turn up the amount, target goes to cutoff. Okay, cool. Okay, I want it a little bit less. And a bit slower. How does it sound if I turn on some drive? Okay, pretty snazzy, pretty snazzy. A little bit less sidechain. Maybe some analog hi-hats or a little loop. Let's start with a little loop, you know, fill it up a bit quickly, get a vibe going, and then see how that sounds. I want to save this, so I'm just going to copy overwrite. So, you know, sometimes it crashes, you don't want to lose anything. First of all, we can check how does it sound with like a vintage drum loop over it. It's maybe not the sound, but in categories there's loop drum and loop percussion, and yeah, they are what they say. Oof. Everything is cool. Ah, man. Hard to choose. Nah. Wait, where was it? See, everything adds such a different groove. see they're also always a bit dragging or pushing, and I like this. Okay, let's see. What can I do with this? What happens if I reduce it a bit? If I sidechain it a bit, nah. FX. FX, thank you very much. Yes. Okay. I like that. Let's clear this one. And oh, this one we used earlier, so I gotta reset it a bit for the pad thing, you know. I hope that is not as sexy as I want it to be for you guys. Hi-hat. 909, why not? That's sounding pretty cool. Let's take away the loop for a second. We always have that to add it back. This is cleaner though. I almost like that. What if we do something with it? Shift gen. Ooh, voice. Okay. You know what? Let's make it cheesy. Okay, let's... I'm just gonna mess around with this a bit. I just reversed it, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's add some... how can we change that sound? FX. Ooh. Okay. Nah, not the drum beat. Now let's add a little extra, maybe melodic element. Reset this one again. Instrument, oh no, gen. Let's see if I go to synth or oscillators again. Let's try that little saw thing again, you know. Ooh, or shall we do an FM thing again? What do you guys think? FM, thank you. Thank you for your input. I listen a lot to you guys. Okay, now back here because it was panned. Yeah, back to 0. Are you still recording? You are, thank you. Okay, let's see what we can do with that. Is there an attack setting that I... Yeah, here. Note. I like this one as a basis, so let's... Second, because we're starting to do weird things. Okay, turn down the gain a bit on this thing. Snare drum, or maybe a clap. Analog. High percussion thing we just added. This is cool. We can now play with the decay. Okay, let's do that a bit. I want to assign that to a knob because that's fun. Then I can play with it. Let's put it on this one. Yeah, let's do it on that one. Okay, this one. Decay. Is that it? I think. No, that's not it. Oh, I'm on the wrong fucking channel. Oops, I did a swear word. I'm sorry. Here we go. Ah, there is. It's already set. I also want to do the filter on one of these knobs. So let's go to knob assign, do the filter here. Okay, yeah. Well, there you have it. We're already grooving quite hard. And maybe add a little modulation to that bad boy. right on the, instead of this one. I don't like that loop. Sorry, loop. You were very nice, but no, that was a fun idea. You know, be ready to let go of things. It's fine. TR-909, right symbol. Turn off the effect. Why does it do that? No idea. Are you ready? And let's take away the pad. You know, I don't know how in depth I want to go, but we're just making some beats, you know, we're just having some fun. What is that fun? I like this. You know what? Let's add one more element, maybe. Oh, we also had that. Why is it doing that? I have no idea, but whatever. Nah, but now you're just messing with me. Whatever, man. Let's add a pattern B. Okay. I do a more full hi-hat loop there. Okay. I think that's about it for this beat. You know, when I sit on my own, usually I sit for like 5 hours and I slowly tweak stuff, but I also feel like I want to show you guys a bit what this thing can do. Yeah, you know what? I think that is it for this one now. If you like this, if you want me to make like another video, like a longer one or something where I don't know, I kind of go with the flow on these things. I really enjoy making all the music and doing all that stuff. With the energy levels and just inspiration. Sometimes you feel super inspired. Today I feel like medium inspired. I'm excited to make this video for you guys, but I'm just like, yeah, see where it goes. And I don't want to fight myself on making more and stuff like that. I want to keep it fun for everybody involved. Yeah, I think in the future I can maybe do this with another machine like the Alpha Bass, or I can do this with another track breakdown of the drum and bass song I did. I really like that one. I was really proud of that one. Just to freshen up your memory if you have seen it. And if you have not seen it, then you will see it now. It was this one. PS1, because it was like PlayStation 1 inspired stuff. But I ended up using a Nintendo. I love that shit. So here you see I just used like a pad chord 2, that's something I sampled, but it's literally just like what I showed you guys. It's just layering some things, then with some bit a phaser on it, a little bit reduction, and a lot of bit reduction. And there you have it already. If you turn off the filter, turn off the bit reduction. If I turn off the phaser, it's just 2 pad chords, that's it. And then I vary chain 4 patterns. A, nothing. It just goes up a note in C and nothing. Let me reload it and enter the other stuff. Reload, yes, okay. A little drums. All stock sounds. Maybe that's for another video, a little breakdown of that. But if you want to see that, let me know. Thanks for watching. This was having a little fun with TR-1000. My parents are in Paris now visiting me, so I'm gonna hang out with them a bit. Yeah, and maybe some long hangout video again soon would be nice. All right, this was making 2 little beats from scratch on the TR-1000. Bauke out. Ciao, ciao.